practice number 1 in the books. Nole Insiders, Lane Hurt and Tim Linnefelt here with you on a cool, crisp Monday morning. Crisp?
I would say so, and windy. It's chilly out here, man. I got my pen and my notepad out here. I can't even take my hands out of my pockets. But a good morning at Florida State. I think crisp is actually a pretty good way to describe it, at least what we saw early on from the offense in the first day with new offensive coordinator Kendall Briles. One of the things that Willie Taggart mentioned in the lead up to spring ball was the hope and the expectation that with a year in this system under their belts, they would be better at running the hurry up, running the spread, getting to the line of scrimmage and getting the ball snapped the way they want it to, that sort of thing. And I really thought you could tell a difference in that, really even just from the fall to now, but especially from a year ago at the start of spring camp to now. I mean, you got guys getting up to the line, snapping the ball, completions down the field, hurrying back to the line and snapping the ball with 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds, and everybody looking like they know where they're supposed to be. Obviously, it's the first day of spring, a lot going on, and I'm sure there are some details that need ironed out, but really from the jump, that to me was really noticeable.
Obviously, we can't talk about spring ball without the quarterbacks. James Blackman, QB1, out here today. Impressions of him early. I thought at least he looked like he had a little more zip on the ball for one.
Yeah, I thought he did too, particularly on some of those quick throws, like in the screen passes, that sort of thing, where it's your job as a quarterback to get the snap and get the ball out as quickly as possible. He looked a little bit more comfortable doing that, pretty accurate. I enjoyed his interview this morning. He talked to us and some of the reporters out here, and he said he's still pushing himself, still driving. Obviously, the depth chart situation is I think we could say favorable to him, being he has this experience and nobody else does, at least not in-game experience. So obviously he's in a pretty good spot there, but you can't treat it that way. We even heard during some drills, if he misfired on a throw or there was an incompletion, you got DBs giving him a little bit of grief, say, oh yeah, he's already got the job, he doesn't need to work hard anymore, and so just kind of needle him a little bit. But that was kind of one of the themes of the day. I thought certainly competition between the DBs and quarterbacks, competition between the DBs and the receivers. I mean, you can tell the guys really enjoy getting after each other, and it just really kind of walks that line that you want to walk between intense. I mean, they really want to beat the guy across from them. You can tell. I mean, they're not just going through the motions. I mean, it really is a competitive atmosphere out there. But while doing that in a positive way, that ends up making both players better.
I think Coach Taggart said it with me last week, and he said it in the interview today. Competitive depth is going to be one of the themes of the spring. Let's talk about another offensive thing that you saw and a defensive thing that you saw from day one.
Big picture type stuff. The one thing on offense, man, Tamorrion Terry, I don't know. I mean, I think the hype train on him is going to be full speed ahead by August, September, but a really nice day for him. He just guys had a really hard time covering him, and it's not like he's doing. I mean, he can run good routes, but at the same time, just kind of running a fade, straight line down the sideline. Guys can't hang with him, and then he's so much taller. If it's a 50-50 ball, it's more like a 75-25 ball for him. So picked up right where he left off. It was really good to see. And then also, I really liked, you want to get a look at some of the new guys, a couple of the early enrollees. Akeem Dent, the new defensive back. He stands out a lot when he's out on the field because he's got hair down, way past his shoulders, down his back, so you can pick him out immediately. But man, he looks like a player. You see him line up against veteran receivers in one-on-one drills, and he hangs right there with them. Saw a couple pass breakups from him, and even some plays where if he didn't get a finger on the ball, he was able to disrupt the receiver enough to where the receiver couldn't get a play on the ball either. Again, for day one, for a true freshman who, by all accounts, could still be in high school right now. I mean, he looks like he belongs.
There you have it, Seminole fans. It's day one of spring ball. We'll have much, much more with the rest of spring culminating in a month from now, April 6th, that spring game on Saturday. For Tim, I'm Lane. Go Noles.